Okay. The third element of success in anything that you do, and right now we're talking about in a real estate business, is your heart, your self-motivation. I call this a lot of different things. Self-motivation, self-discipline, self-confidence, attitude, emotions, your beliefs. This thing I call the triad, which I'll show you in a moment, your psychology. Now, psychology sounds like it's part of what's going on in your mind, but no. Psychology is what motivates you, what's happening in your heart, and your self-esteem. It's how you feel and how you control how you feel. And once again, this structure, this thing we call the hierarchy of real estate success, is not only all the systems, skills, and habits in your business, but it's also in the center here how you think, set goals, and measure success of your business. And on the bottom, the topic we are talking about right now, your heart, your self-motivation, your self-discipline. So let's disappear the other sections and just notice that this foundation to a business you love is the motivation, the self-discipline, the self-esteem, the beliefs that you have. So let's focus this segment completely on that self-motivation, self-esteem, self-discipline part of your business. Now what you have in front of you right now is called the triad. This is, I completed learning this. I've been learning about this for 30 years. Every course you take about motivation, every course you take that teaches you how to think and feel and control your emotions and your thinking talks about some elements of this. Tony Robbins really brought this together for me. This is the triad that Tony Robbins talks about. As a matter of fact, all of Tony's work is based, even though he does lots of different workshops and seminars, and I've taken tons of them and spent days with the man, the core of all of Tony's teaching, the core of all motivation teaching, going back for thousands of years, is focused on this triad. I call it the triad of self-motivation and self-discipline. What you feel occurs when you focus on something. Like if you focus on something really good in your life, you know, somebody you love or something you love or something good that has happened in the past. Or if you can't, nothing good has ever happened in your past, imagine something did happen good in your past. And what that means to you, and how that you felt back then, and what that would mean to you if it kept happening, if it keeps happening. And as that happens, you start feeling a physiological change. You start feeling better. You feel warm in your heart. You smile. You sit up. You react differently. So my point here is your emotions are constructed based on what you focus on, the meaning you give what you focus on, and your physiology. And those of you in our coaching programs, those of you who listen to our daily webinars, hear me come back to this thing called the triad all the time. Because when you want to change the way you feel, let me repeat that, when you want to change the way you feel, you can control your feelings, you can control your attitude by using the triad. Now, at one level, you can just focus on something really good in your life, something you can either imagine something in the future or focus on something in the past. And when you focus on it, think what that means to you. Like I think, I'm going to spend this afternoon and this evening with my oldest son, and he's a pedicab driver in Austin at the moment, and he's going to show us all around Austin, and then he's going to, then he's going to show us, what he does and how he does it, and he himself is going to be getting into real estate shortly, and I'm so excited for him. And when I think about what all that means, and I spent last night with him, and it was such a great experience, and seeing how happy and comfortable he is with himself, and as I think and focus on that and the meaning it has for me, I smile. You can hear it in my voice and my body. Well, when you want your emotions to change, you focus on something that makes you feel good. You think about what that means in your life, and your physiology changes. But there's a better way to do this, and that's to lead with physiology. Put a smile on your face, chest out, stomach in. You literally can create your attitude. You literally can create your attitude. By deep breaths, head up, shoulders back, smile, proud physiology. Physiology first, focus, and then meaning. And you'll hear me talk about this on our daily webinars. And if you go to first151st15.com or go to richlevin.com and sign up for First 15 webinars, it's a daily webinar we do for our coaching clients, and you can visit and drop in for free. We often come back to this because your ability to control, so go back to that screen, your ability to control your emotions is key to your success. Think about how often your mind shifts to something negative. You start focusing on it, and it's almost habitual. Maybe it's not almost habitual, it is habitual. that you start stacking meaning to the negative. And you start feeling badly. You don't even notice, but your breath gets shorter and your shoulders sag a little bit, and it affects your emotions and your emotional state for the whole day. It may even lead to some kind of mild or even more serious depression. And imagine knowing that you could interrupt that, change your physiology, change what you're focusing on, and shift the meaning that you give to what you're, not shift, but add meaning to what you focus on, and all of a sudden your emotional state changes. It is such an amazingly powerful tool to have in your life. What you focus on, you feel. And those of you in the daily coaching program, you will hear me talk sometimes about daily magic. It's a routine that I did for over a year, and now I do it in a more abbreviated fashion. I move and breathe, and I breathe in and I breathe out, and I take oxygen out of my lungs. And if you notice sometimes, how many times a day do you really take a deep breath and get oxygen in your lungs? You know, oxygen, which is like the oxygen of life. It's the life that we bring into our body. So, you know, you take that in, and then you affirm every day and every way, I'm feeling better and better. Every day and every way, I'm getting more and more strong. I'm getting more and more healthy. I'm getting more and more successful. Every day and every way, more and more people, you know, enrich my life. And imagine what each means to you, and then express gratitude for the things you can be grateful for in your life. And if there's nothing to be grateful for, then think about what you could be grateful for, and then visualize or imagine your life, and imagine your month, and imagine your day, and then affirm again, you know, all the strength I need is within me now, and imagine what that means in your life, and enjoy the moment that you're in. What is there to enjoy about the moment? And think about other moments in your life and turn up the energy. And those 6 steps are something that are called daily magic. And again, it's something I derived from a tape from Tony Robbins called Daily Magic. I did it for about 15 minutes, sometimes longer, every single morning for over a year, and learned the skill of being able, I'm going to just go back a couple of slides here. From doing that, I learned the skill of using my physiology, focus, and the meaning I bring to what I focus to shift my emotions, so that on a daily basis I can bring that kind of emotional shift, so that if I have something difficult I'm going to approach, I can bring up my emotional level. You know, it's so easy. I do it in the snap of a finger right here on the phone with you, or on this webinar with you. So that's called Daily Magic, and it's the basis of some beliefs that you've heard many, many times that are true. You know, what we think about our lives becomes the truth for us. And as we think and focus, and what we feel about our lives becomes the truth for us, because our subconscious mind accepts whatever we choose to believe. Whatever we choose to believe, and if we don't choose consciously, people choose for us. And then that's what we are led to believe about our life. And then what we choose to believe reflects itself in our life. So what we think about ourselves becomes the truth for us. Our subconscious mind accepts whatever we choose to believe, and then it reflects itself in our lives. And on our daily coaching sessions, I talk about some segment of this, some quote, some thought, so that you can either feel like that person on the screen or feel like this person on the screen, depending on how you use what you focus on and how you feel to shift your life. And that's why at the beginning of our webinars each day, I like to focus you on what would you love your real estate career to do for you, and to write it down. What would you love your real estate career to do for you? And I focus on that every single day, so that you're reminded, yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so I can pay off debts and feel financially free. You know, I'm doing this so I can put my kids through college. I'm doing this so I can, you know, be proud of myself. I'm doing this so I can achieve wealth. I'm doing this as a conduit for my real estate investing. I'm doing this. And maybe you're not sure why you're doing this, but as you start to lock in and focus on really, I'm doing this because it gives me more freedom and opportunity. You know, one of the reasons my son wants to do this is because he realizes that he can have more of the life he wants with the freedom of a real estate career. So by focusing each morning on what you want, what you love your real estate career to do for you, it sets the stage for you to then keep that in mind throughout the day. And that's what it's about. That's what this heart piece, this self-motivation, this self-discipline, this self-confidence, this attitude piece, it's about consciously noticing what you're focusing on, the kind of meaning you're bringing what you're focusing on, the physiology you have, and whether that's a strong, proud, happy physiology or sort of a sad, depressed physiology, so that you can consciously cause yourself to feel better,